All right, welcome to the Wednesday weekly team prosperity meeting. Today is Wednesday, December the 1st. So what we're talking about today is a little bit of reflection on the year, good, bad, or ugly, whatever happened, and then looking into the new year, 2022. What are we going to do if this past year or the past few years haven't been as productive or successful as you want them to be? How do we make sure we go into the new year with a foundation to get what we want? So that's exactly what we're talking about today. The keys to success, preparing for what you want. A lot of times that we've talked about over the past weeks, it's about understanding from a partner or a client's perspective, helping them get what they want. So for us too, we don't have a clearly defined, vision of what we want for the next year. It's hard to go somewhere you don't know where that is. So we want to understand going into this year as much as possible. We want to become systematic and automated. So from the perspective of onboarding new qualified agents, we want to have things like the appointment shows, the pre-scheduling, the activation, the follow-up, the content marketing, all of these things. All of these things we want to make sure that we get into a systematic and automated format. The more that you can take off your shoulders and off the shoulders of your agents coming in, and the more we can concentrate on the other kinds of stuff, income producing activities, this stuff in a systematic and automated format is going to help with the overall organizational growth. So that's important because when you guys look at bringing in partners, which is going to help you get to your big goals, it's not that hard at the top of the funnel to create activities that create leads. So when you're looking at lead creation, it should be at this point understood what you need to do, how to do it, and why you're going in a particular route. Now, at the top of the funnel, as those leads are created, you've got the middle of the funnel. And this is those activities and systems that take those leads and help convert the right candidates into onboarding and contracts. The bottom of this is always the hardest. Can I get that new agent into production, into activation, and into retention? Meaning, are they active? Are they making money? And are they, ingrained in the process of what we're trying to do over here? Creating leads, converting those leads, and then getting those agents into production and activation and retention is what we're going to be concentrating on. If you create leads, don't bring in the right people, or you create leads, bring in the right people, but you don't help them through the bottom of this process, you have to get people making money. First 90 days is imperative that we walk them through a process to get income on a recurring basis into their bank account, because without that, you're going to have a lot of people drifting, and you're going to have a big top of the funnel and then a really minuscule bottom of the funnel. And the bottom of the funnel is revenue and income for all of us. So it's important we understand what we're doing and why. You get to the middle of the funnel and you get those qualified candidates by understanding who you're bringing in and why. So understand when you're talking to people, leading indicators can be so important in a business like ours, because if you can see, for example, somebody's not answering emails, if somebody's not, picking up phone calls. Well, if they're not doing that on the front side, probably that's a leading indicator on the backside. They're not going to be very good at communicating with clients, communicating with partners, being part of a team-oriented environment where in a virtual space, we've got to have these connections. So understand that when you're talking to people and you're trying to bring in a right kind of persona, understand the leading indicators, learn how to read situations. And like I said, disqualify. Quit trying to pre-qualify everybody into a big bucket. Disqualify. Who do you work with? Why? Go after those people. So guys, this is an online business. It's not an online hobby. So for ourselves and our partners coming in, we want to make sure that we understand this is not something at the end of our interview process where we hear from the other side, I'll give it a try, or things like that. That's not what we want to hear. We want to hear somebody committed to what we're doing, committed to the process, ready to take immediate action to get to their end goals, their end destinations, which will help us with ours. So what that means is, if I'm building an online business and I'm the business, I'm the entrepreneur, then I'm constantly thinking about ways to improve my business, right? How can I make this better for myself, my partners, my clients. If you're not constantly thinking about how to make your business better, other people, trust me, are, and you'll find that you're going to get left behind. So this is a business. You're competing against other people, both externally and internally. You have to think constantly, how can I make this better, more efficient, more profitable? You've got to have the desire to dominate the market. Yes, we bring on part-time people, allow them to make that bridge over to entrepreneurship. But once we're on the other side of the bridge, we're not there just to hang out and compete. We're there to dominate. So with that understanding, what's going to get us the best results? And then we do that continuously. We can be active and we can work hard, but working smart to get the results is what we're trying to do. Activity plus accountability. We have to be able to take the activity on the front side and then convert that on the backside and understand, what is that manufacturing? It's manufacturing nothing. That activity, that time investment is a zero. So understand what we do has to have a return, and the accountability, the measurement allows us to understand what's either happening or not happening. And then the refusal to give in or give up. Remember, when you're building a business, you've got to have two things that you constantly concentrate on and understand. Number one, income producing activities. What am I going to do every day to get this, business with some traction, get it with some velocity, and have enough coming in through the tops of whatever funnels you're doing, client, partner, etc., that you're talking to a number of people, disqualifying the wrong people, and taking the right people through a process that's going to lead to some outcomes. Also, as an entrepreneur, as a business, understand that building a business from the ground floor is not going to be easy, guys. You come in and the opportunity that we see is exciting. But as we start to build our business and realize, hey, this is going to take more work than I realized and originally envisioned, or down at the bottom here, we all get there. No matter what you try to do as a new thing, whether, in this case, a business, you're going to get down to the valley of despair where, the business is harder than we anticipated on the front side. You've got a choice down here. And it's really important that you understand for yourself and your business partners, because as you're coaching and mentoring people, when they get down here, they have a decision. And we talk about this time and time again because it's so important. They either give up and quit and they'll start something new and just ping pong back and forth here continuously through many months, many years. And that time really adds up. And they haven't gone anywhere. They're just a continuous cycle of restarting, or we can realize where we are, or help somebody else realize where they are, push through that to get through to the other side, the expectation of success. So understand, there's a psychological factor in everything that we do. Help people understand that, places they are right now in building a business, it's just temporary. And also, you got to make sure that as we are building this business together, there's 4 levels of understanding. You got to understand what you did. You got to be able to repeat that in similar situations, teach other people how to do it, explain it so others can understand, and then apply it to different situations. If these 4 levels of understanding can be implemented into each branch office or agency that you guys built, it's a lot easier to understand building distribution, building nationwide offices. And it all boils down to the same thing that we've just talked about time and time and time again this past year, guys. And that's 12 to 15 appointments per week. This is a blueprint for yourself as a personal producer. And this is a blueprint for you as an agency builder, because now you understand inside that agency what needs to take place and how to correctly, instruct, train, support, coach, mentor your agents into a blueprint for success. And remember, an appointment can't just be an appointment. An appointment is someone with a reason to do something, whether that's a potential partner, a potential client. That's a quality appointment. Get 12 to 15 of those and we're off and running. Also, you need to understand as an entrepreneur that not everything on the front side needs massive changes. Sometimes, just in this example, look at this, a 10% lift in conversions equals an 800% increase in sales. So understand everything that you're doing, whether that's driving traffic, whether that's getting conversions to opt-in, book meetings, that everything has to be looked at from a data-driven perspective so you can make data-driven decisions. If you make emotional decisions, change a bunch of stuff at one time, you're never going to pinpoint what's working and what's not working. So understand that you need to, even on the front side, need to understand your numbers so you can make those small tweaks, which can equal big differences in the outcomes. Also, as salespeople, we call ourselves educators, but at the end of the day, we are selling products and services. So the typical sales cycle result, if you look at and break that pie up into thirds, a third sales, a third no sales, and a third just really no decision, and you can cut those no decision rates by 50%, well, guess what? Your close rate increases to 40%. Now, what about if I can get those no decisions into a win rate? Converting 50% of those no decisions to wins, increasing my win rate by 50%. So understand that, yes, on the conversion rates, but even down into your presentations and creating outcomes, small differences equal big outcomes. And then also, we've been talking about this past year, but the quicker that you guys get on a lead, the quicker it is not to create some type of decision by the client or partner, but to create the outcome, to create the resolution, right? That's all we're looking to do. We create leads and we resolve leads. And through that process, we find the people that are our right types of clients and our right types of partners. We welcome those people in, but understand that if you let that lead sit there, it spoils. Just like leading food out there, will spoil as well. So when you guys are creating leads, you've done that work. It's very important that you guys get in front of these people and don't stop until you resolve the lead. Now, once again, going back to what we talked about earlier, the leading indicators: people don't pick up, their voicemail's full, don't answer email, their inbox is full. Those are all leading indicators that probably not the right candidate for what we do. But don't let things fall through the cracks just because you're not organized, you're not following up. The raw material that you bring into your digital factory that we've been talking about is one of the most important things that you can understand to do, because sorry guys, I had to mute somebody out. So you have to understand, who do you work with? We've been talking about this entire year, creating personas. Who is it that we're trying to bring in as a potential client or as a potential partner? Who is that person? And then on the opposite side, who is that person not? Who do you not work with? It's important to understand, like we talk about, learn from your successes as well as your failures, but also you have to understand who you work with. On the opposite, who do you not work with and why? It's important for you internally to digest that, but it's also important for you on the outside world to be able to communicate with other people as disqualifiers, so you are spending your time with the right people. In your market, you're going to segment your market and understand, demographics. Who is it? Where are they? How do they think? How do they act? Remember, there is a psychological factor to what we do, and when you can start putting your feet in other people's shoes, understanding their problems, understanding perceived problems that particular segment of the population has, and coming to them with solutions, is how we're going to get in front of the right people. The better you get at targeting specific people and creating a quality audience, get that engagement, this becomes very easy, guys, because you're spending your time with the right people. Now, going beyond that, think about audience interest. Think about the people that you want to get in front of. And when you're thinking about even diving down into that persona, what are the books? What are the influencers? If you're trying to sell a software program, do you want to get in front of somebody that has no interest in using software programs, or do you want to get in front of somebody who's already using technology and software programs in their day-to-day life? Same thing. Where are they getting their news? What social media groups and pages are they on? Once you understand who you're looking for and where they are, and you've crafted a message that gets a decent response, raising their hand, yes, I want more information about this, this becomes a lot easier in terms of lead generation and conversion on the backside. When you get in front of these people, once you've developed your persona, identified where they are, you've got to get in front of them with something that's going to be attention grabbing. So big promise with specific claim. As we have our business mature, we get more and more first person stories of transformation, whether it's ourselves, our clients, our partners, removal of a pain, and then that actual client testimonial. User generated content, meaning that the outside world who's using your products and services, if they're out there talking about it, that is the best possible endorsement you can get in an online environment. But you've also got to be able to identify and help people identify common mistakes. So one of the things that we help people do is get to their goals, but we help people get to their goals by avoiding common mistakes with exact plans. So what are some common mistakes? When you're out there talking to people, you need this in your repertoire, in your communication, because, people, if they're making the mistakes and you can help them understand these are common, these are not just you, here's how you fix them, it's a lot easier to help these people. Settling, thinking you have enough when you really don't. And we talk about things like inflation, the loss of purchasing power of wages. This is a common money mistake people make. Diversification, when we look at things that benefit Wall Street, not our clients, that's something they get spoon-fed throughout their entire life. And they believe this stuff. Depending on one income flow, that's dangerous. What do? We help people, create and repair cash flow. Comparing yourself to others, well, I'm at least doing this well, brings a false sense of confidence. Investing in trends, it's one of the fastest ways to go broke. Trusting without proof. We educate and we show people. We don't just out there telling people, we show them exactly how to get to the end destination they're looking for. Saving just to save. Remember, the government devalues your currency continuously. That's a hidden tax. And then pretender saver, just because you have something that costs a lot of money, thinking that you're in a good financial position. And then also, guys, when you're talking to people, if their money isn't where they want it to be, then, some of the times it's because one or more of these following is happening. Entitlement. You feel you deserve money without earning it. And when, a penny saved is a penny earned. So what we do through the process of the education, the technology, the ongoing education is we teach people, how money works, how to create cash flow, how to eliminate debt, how to, create wealth for themselves. That middle class mindset, you do just enough to get by, not going to cut it going forward, guys. And lack of consistency. People start diets, people start financial plans, people start first of the year goals and resolutions. But unless you create habits and routines and consistency, it's only going to be short term start and stops. Normal action. So, for example, on the partner side, if they're just going to work the 9 to 5 and that's it, guess what? That's not really an entrepreneurial mindset. And that's really not an entrepreneurial schedule. The wrong vehicle. Some of these people out here on the partner side that you're talking to, they're just in the wrong company. They're never going to get where they want to go because, no matter what they do, just in the wrong place. They never save. So on the client side, they're spending on crap before they even save a penny. So what we teach, obviously, is how to create cash flow, how to save, how to create wealth, and how to get to a point where you have passive income and cash flow that matched or exceeds the active wages. And then no sales skills. Once again, what we need to teach partners coming in is how to go out and how to get new money coming in. So a lot of this that we're teaching today, guys, whether you're having a conversation with a potential client or potential partner, a lot of this stuff is very fluid in how you can use it. So, that anchor that's holding people back financially, do they have a financial plan? Most people don't. That's really where, people start the process of, their financial misery, not understanding the risk in a financial plan. So if we have one, what are the risks in there? Breaking the rules of the plan for X, Y, or Z, whatever BS excuse we feed ourselves at that time to break the rules of our plan, the inability to act, react, or adjust, falling in love with mediocrity, failing to realize that it's really up to you, failure to learn from past mistakes, and no consistency. Once again, this can be partner conversation, client conversation. We are learning how to disqualify the wrong people and then qualify the right people. But also, as we're going to see in a few minutes, we need to start setting up expectations for, both our clients and our partners coming in, because the keys to success, goals. What do we want to accomplish? Education. How do we accomplish it? risk management, the ongoing analysis, and that strategic playbook, which, in our, company and what we do in our vertical, strategic playbook includes the exactness of the technology, which is really, really important because it takes all the guesswork out of it. Step-by-step instructions, which, trust me, when you're talking about financial planning, our clients definitely need. So the vision, it's not just about next year. It's not just about 3 years from now. We need both partners and clients to have a short, medium, and long-term vision. These are the things that we help them achieve going forward. If there are no goals, there's no motivation factors, trust me, that person is going to drift because there's nothing to drive them into that initial activity to get them past the hump. So what we want to concentrate on going forward, guys, is not selling, not recruiting. We want to start interviewing people. And when you learn to master the art of conversation, like I said, all of this becomes real easy because there's no pre-hidden agendas. There's no expectations here. I'm going into the conversation with one real expectation. I'm going to try to resolve this lead. So where is somebody? Where do they want to go? How are they going to get there? What are they willing to do to get there? And how do you fit into the plan? That's overall the 5 points really going in communication and conversation we're trying to figure out. Now, that's pretty general. So when you break this down, when you're talking to somebody about goals and they have no goals, like I said, that's a disqualifier for me. But when you're talking about goals, a lot of times when you're talking about money, we associate the goals with financial goals. However, what is somebody's primary goals? What are they trying to accomplish? And when we talk about that, we want that to be non-financial. And then what motivates them? What are their hopes, dreams, etc.? And then what are the financial goals that are going to help you obtain your primary goals? So now we're talking about non-financial goals being connected with financial goals to interact and get them there, on the short, the long term, etc. What are the strengths and weaknesses? And, for partner interviews, it's a little bit easier. For clients, we have to go into that because we have to help them overcome or help them preemptively overcome some of the things they're going to face. If you got somebody that, for example, they just can't stop spending on the credit card, that's a conversation that you guys need to have to help them understand, hey, in order to get where you want to go along the way, this is probably going to be some things that you face. Do you understand how we're going to overcome that? Remember, preemptively overcoming obstacles before they get there is the easiest way to handle them. And then on the other side, what are the assets that are going to help them meet their goals? We talked about the challenges or limitations, but also, both sides of the fence. What's going to help them meet their goals as well? And then, the urgency. When is it that we want to achieve our goals? Are we not really interested in achieving them? Or do we have a specific time frame? And then how much are you willing to dedicate? Time, energy, resources, kind of fill in the blank. Once again, setting up goals allows us, or talking about goals allows us to have a disqualification process early on and then making it real. A lot of us have made goals in the past. A lot of us made resolutions in the past, and we didn't end up achieving those goals, making those resolutions. So once again, the conversation has to also include what stopped somebody in the past? How will hitting your goals change your life? And then really that last thing, what is somebody willing to do to make sure this is going to happen for them? The value of reaching an end destination and a goal is what it's worth. So yes, there's a cost and a price to the things that we have as far as the product services. We give a lot of our time away, education. You have to talk about the value of your time, being on the side, being in their team, holding their hand with them, whether that's on the client or the partner side. There's a value to what you do, your time, energy, resources invested. But when you talk about the price, the cost of something, also understand that's really a vehicle. That's an engine to get them to the end destination. What is it worth to them to get to the end destination and reach that goal that we talked about earlier? And then this is what I was just referencing with you guys. We need to get better at setting up expectations. And like I said, sometimes, on the partner side, we let them know. But sometimes on the client side, I don't think we do as good of a job. So we need to set up expectations. If we're disqualifying the wrong people on the front side and we're talking to the right people, and we're bringing those right people in, they need to know we have expectations. We expect them to go through and finish what they start, whether that's a client or partner. We expect them to begin, fill in the blank immediately, using the software, having activity as a partner, whatever it might be, immediately. We expect to see you, whether, that's in training, whether that's in meeting, whatever it might be. We have expectations. We expect you to have short, medium, long-term goals in place and actively trying to achieve those. We expect you to take the proper action steps. We expect you to learn from your mistakes, and we expect you to produce results. Remember, we're not in the process, or we're not in the habit, or really the model of selling technology and algorithms and programs to people who aren't going to create user-generated content, who aren't going to create good testimonials, who aren't going to create success stories. So once again, we're not a sales organization. We're an organization of financial literacy, how money works. And once again, if you guys get in the habit of setting up front expectations for your clients and partners, it's easier to go back and reference that when things start to go sideways and either get them back on track, or sometimes we have to disqualify, later on down the road. There's always going to be answers, finding, conclusion, results, solutions, outcomes. They can go this way, that way, the other way. This is why it's so important. If you get to the end of a presentation and there's not a defined route that we want to take, a reason why we want to take it, and the urgency to take it now, we've probably fell short on the front side in communicating, disqualifying, setting up expectations. Remember, all the things that we do on the front side help the back end outcomes. You got to front load your business, guys. And that's really what you want to work on is, you can get better at squeezing out the middle with disqualifications. You can get better at, helping the right persona have the activity, get the results, etc. But none of that's going to happen unless you front load your business. You have to have enough eyes on the fact that, hey, you're in business, what you're doing, and your ability to help them as possible. So we've gone from, pitching, selling, recruiting. We don't really need that. We've gone into more of an educational kind of giveaway to get the conversation started. So we create leads by giving away something that somebody would want that shows them exactly how to do what they're trying to do. It's an opt-in. It's one of the easiest ways. So instead of, hey, what's your email address? What's your phone number? I'm going to send you some information. Hey, here's a guide, go claim it, it's free. That'll create the lead. And then we've got some systems in place, automation triggers that will help you guys. But ultimately, hey, you are X, this is Y. This is how you do it. Would you like to know how to do whatever it is you're offering? This is exactly how to do it. This is how to claim it. It's free. Go here. Your job, like I said, getting that traffic at the top of the funnel is the awareness, just the awareness that you're in business, that you can help somebody, that you've got stuff on the front side that really requires not much from them other than an opt-in to receive. From that, we'll start to educate. And like I said, we'll get in the middle of that funnel. We're able to disqualify, create interest, create consideration. And at the bottom, those decisions, the actions, the things that we're looking for, AKA the outcomes. Like I said, the main thing that you guys can concentrate on, the main problem I see with new agents coming in, they, it's kind of like secret agents. We're not really letting people know what we do. And it's not about going out there, like I said, selling, pitching, and recruiting. It's about raising awareness to problems that you have solutions for. And the way to get that solution is just go here, grab the guide. It's pretty easy, guys. And remember, when you're also talking to people, we've all got regrets. You can talk to anybody. Hey, if you go back 10 years, what would you say to yourself? It's always a this or that. Everybody's got regrets. Everybody's got things they want to change in their past. However, you want to start talking about, eliminating the regrets of the future. So what we do is allow people to get into a position to create a lifestyle they actually want. So there are no regrets going forward. We make good choices today. We have action plans today, so we don't have regrets tomorrow. What we do, guys, is needed. It's important, it's timely, and it's really as easy as understanding an A-B scenario. A, we have too much debt. B, we have too little wealth. We have answers, solutions to this And when you go out there and look at the macro, marketplace, would people like less debt and more wealth? Yes. So when we look at, does our product or service have a marketplace? It's a huge marketplace. Does our product or service, or does our business model have a point of resistance for scalability? Not really, other than doing the things that we're talking about, raising awareness, disqualifying, bringing in the right people, letting your business grow with the right kinds of people on both the client and the partner side. And guys, be timely in your information. Be timely in your conversations. We've been talking about this. People understand. They go to the gas station, they go to the grocery store, they're looking around, they're seeing prices go up. That's inflation. Do we know how to talk about inflation in order to raise awareness, to give them options and solutions on how to fight inflation? Ways to fight inflation? Well, guess what? You improve your cash flow. You don't have to service so much debt. That helps you absorb some of the cushion of the blows of higher prices and less purchasing power of those dollars. This next year, guys, is all going to be about discipline, 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 giving things enough time to get the data points that you need, learning how to only change one thing at a time. A lot of you guys with your model, you just hit the detonator. You'll blow it all up, start something new, a new marketing campaign, whatever it is. Change small things, one thing at a time, and give it enough time to be able to reflect on that. And there's no such things as doesn't work. So remember, we learn from our failures as well as our successes. It's only providing feedback to get us better. And as we go into this holiday season, we just got past Thanksgiving, we're going to go into Christmas, New Year's. Understand that successful entrepreneurs are using some of that downtime to read, to educate, to get ready, prepare them for a great year. If I were you guys, I would sit down and really figure out over the next 12, 18, 24, 36 months, whatever it is, what you're trying to accomplish. We talked about primary goals, talked about how the financial goals help you reach those primary goals, but make a pledge to yourself. Let's get this done. There's plenty of 6- and 7-figure businesses within this model, internally within this team, that are ready to be built and ready to be capitalized on. So that's all we've got for this week, guys. We will see you next week. Once again, if you are actively working on your business and you need help, reach out to us. We'll help you.